Hey, you guys, it's Angie Hooper from the Leadership Habit. And you can tell I'm just at my desk today working on season 2 of the Leadership Habit. And I need your help with something. I have noticed that a lot of folks are getting super confused about manifestation and law of attraction. And it is part of leadership to be able to understand how these universal principles work and to be able to access it for yourself and for your business. So, I need to know if you guys want to hear about those topics, manifestation, and in particular, the law of attraction, which is so misunderstood. And it's sad because I see people think that it doesn't work or it's not accessible to them because they really have just been, um, it's not been explained to them properly. Right. And, part of what I love to do is to take some of these universal ideas and really break it down for you in the steps. Right. If we can understand the process by which something happens, then that spiritual epiphany, that spiritual technology becomes accessible to us, right? And you go, if you've been following the if you've been following me on Instagram and on LinkedIn and Facebook, then you know that we've been talking a lot about forgiveness lately, because forgiveness is really, it's a process. It's totally within your control. It's something you can learn how to do. It doesn't involve anybody, including the person who hurt you and already proved that they're not trustworthy to help you have the well-being that you deserve in your life. And so I want to apply that same principle to manifestation and the law of attraction, but I need to know if you guys are interested. So if you are, give this post a like or drop me a comment with your question and let's talk about it. This is really a misunderstood concept, and I want to help you understand it in a way that enhances your life and your success and your wealth. So let me know that, number one. Number two, today I was speaking with a friend of mine, and she was catching me up on some folks that we both know that I haven't seen in a while, and talking about how a friend of ours is always doing these lists of affirmations, right? And you may have done this exercise yourself. It's called a 50 stack, where you write down 50 reasons that something that you want is true, or 50 reasons why something is going to be available to you, right? 50 reasons why you're going to be successful, 50 reasons why the love of your life is right around the corner, right? It's called a 50 stack. And it can be a very powerful tool if you use it properly. Because here's the catch, right? If you're just making a list of things that you wish were true, what you're really doing is gaslighting yourself. Does that sound harsh? I don't mean it to be harsh. I mean it to be helpful, because I want you to stop gaslighting yourself, right? You can't start with a list of affirmations and try and talk yourself into something that you don't really believe. You've got to take a step back and look at the root of why it is you don't believe that you deserve it, why it is that you don't believe that you are lovable when it's so clear from a spiritual perspective that you are. Why are you holding yourself back from that? Right? Writing down a list of 50 or 100 or 1,000 reasons why you are lovable isn't going to do anything if you don't take a step back and understand why you don't believe it right now. You see how that works? Because otherwise, that list of affirmations or inspirational quotes or whatever it is that you're using is really just you trying to gaslight yourself and convince yourself that the world is different than you really believe it is. And that's why it's not working. And that's why you're frustrated and you feel guilty and you feel inadequate, because doesn't it work for everybody else? And the answer is no, that doesn't work for anybody. So, how do you change? You change the belief that's underneath that idea that you haven't bought into yet. And there's simple, straightforward ways to do it. Doesn't make it easy. We make it as easy or as hard as we make it, but there are ways that we can ask ourselves a really good question about what we believe, why we believe it, because I bet you've got a good reason. Even if it's a reason that doesn't work for you anymore, you've got a reason for believing and doing and being who you are right now. And if you don't change that reason, if you don't adopt the new belief, it doesn't matter how many resolutions you set or how much wishing and hoping and even how many goals you set towards that end state, you're not going to be able to get there, and it won't be sustainable if you touch it. You see how that works? I want you to have lasting transformation, right? I want this to be the permanent step towards the life that you want. And for that to happen, we have got to get underneath and really these superficial affirmations. The purpose of an affirmation is just a reminder of something that you already know, right? It's to bring it to the surface. If you're trying to use affirmations or inspirational quotes or something like that as a way to convince yourself that you believe something that you really are worried isn't true about you, it's never going to work. You're just going to end up feeling guilty and frustrated and like maybe there's something wrong with you when there's not something wrong with you. It's just you need a different process to get there. So, if that speaks to you and you would like to hear more about that on season 2 of The Leadership Habit, we're doing episode planning right now and getting ready to start recording. It's very exciting. So, if those topics speak to your heart and your mind and your soul, let's do it. Just let me know in the comments or DM me or Honest Network and let me know if that speaks to you, and we will do our best to include it in season 2. Thanks, guys.